All right, welcome back. Yeah, good afternoon. This morning, doing some childcare, bit of spotty work. Just finishing refactoring. Where's my notes here? Yeah. So we did this big change of changing the prefabs to using a script instead, a non-mono behavior script, I suppose you'd call it. Classes. So we filled in each character here, and we did it in an intelligent way so that we wouldn't have to fill in every little detail, and we do balancing using constants. So that's fun. I think I'm just going to write down video on the use of constants for balancing. Because I think that's important. Like this is the first game where I've had like so many characters in the game. And we just need to have rules like, oh, if it's a ranged character and we think that a ranged character should have less HP, rather than just going to each individual ranged character and giving it less HP, we say, we mark it as a ranged character, and then here at the bottom we just say, okay, if you're a ranged character, then, where is that? Character type. Yeah, if you're ranged, then your max HP is times the range multiplier, which is 0.75. You know, that kind of thing. And maybe we'll say, oh no, that's too harsh. Let's go to 8, for example. And we'll have a much easier time balancing. And that's why I should have done this in the first place, but yeah, so that's what I've done. And that's been a huge refactoring. Lots of little lines of code just need changing. So we change from character to character controller because we now delineate between the mono behavior that goes on the character and the character as in a list of stats and a sprite and a name and so on. And so tons of refactoring, and took me like a day, most of a day, to go through all of the code and just fix the red bits, make it compile. And yeah, there are a couple challenging moments. Like, for example, I had Hero as a class, so you could read about them. And now, of course, Hero doesn't make sense as a class because we've just got character and we could just point to character. So I am expecting a lot more work before this actually works. So I did press play earlier. Sorry I didn't do that on stream, but, you know. And we are having issues, I think, mainly around, like, script execution order. So when we press play, we get bugs, and we are going to get bugs for a while until I fix them all. So at this point, when we press play, yeah, so what we're asking for here, so this is null. Is it because gm.c isn't enabled? Ah, yeah, okay, so there we go. GM isn't in this bit. And this is a problem with me. Another mistake that I made programming is not really fully understand how to make these objects that don't destroy on load so that persist when you enter and exit scenes. And we're pointing to gm.upgrades, but GM doesn't exist here. So what do? There's a couple solutions. The first one, which I probably won't do, is so instead of me having to reassign all of these sprites, what I'm doing is I'm pointing to the upgrade sprite which exists. I could say, well, since the sprite now lives on the character, maybe the sprites shouldn't be in upgrades. We're getting quite a lot of these, but so I'll just start deleting some until I find it. Upgrades. There it is. And yeah, so we've got all of the sprites for the characters are here. Got the prefab and the sprite. So for one thing, we don't need the prefabs anymore. But I am going to get things working before I delete those. Because, yeah, this no longer applies. We don't need these anymore. And the sprites can live on characters. I think I don't know what best practice is, but I think in future, what I'll do is I'll just make a script that is just a big library of sprites that has all of the sprites. So we are referencing that script from here, but that script is not in this scene. It's not loaded yet. So that's why it doesn't work. It makes sense. I understand that. So the solution is, yeah, either move all the sprites in here. If I do that, then I'll just have to click and drag them all in again, which is fine. That's about, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour perhaps of very tedious clicking and dragging to put them in the editor. So look, we've got GM upgrades like this. The other option is you could search for it in your folders by name, and then have the sprite match the name of the thing we're looking for. But to be honest, that is just extra work. The other option, what was the other option? So yeah, that was option number 1, and that requires me to do quite a lot of stuff basically. So can I think of another way to do this? One is that I could just have, which I might have already started doing. So it's in character select that we have the problem. And I think, and this is very, very roundabout, but yeah, we have a script called, and basically these are empty, but I can copy. So I'll do that now just to demonstrate, I guess. So I'm going to take upgrades. I'm going to copy component, and then go character select, and then go paste component values, and then that's gonna fill those all in, right? And so what I could, so yeah, actually I think the easiest way to do this, but this just compounds the problem of my bad code, but for now I'm just going to do this. I'm going to make a reference to upgrades from here. Is that the best way? Could upgrades just reference itself in the same way that I do with GM? Maybe not. So I would go here and I would make, I don't know, just randomly, I'll put it here. Public upgrades. Okay. And then in each of these, so I should be able to do a find and replace. I'll go, so wherever we say, for the heroes, I have actually fixed it, but for the non-heroes, so heroes, no, skeleton. So instead of gm.c.upgrades get upgrade skeleton.sprite, we just go upgrades get upgrade skeleton.sprite, and then I just need to make sure to assign that. So that's what we're going to do. So I need to take all instances of this, and I should be able to just do a find and replace all and just call that upgrades. And that's changed a lot of lines of code and no errors, no issues. So that worked. So again, roundabout ways of doing things. Bit of spaghetti. I remember playing Factorio, and I remember someone sort of talking about it, and it's like, you've got to embrace the spaghetti. That's not what you should do with programming, but you get to a point where if there's no problems with optimization, if the game works and if it's not slowing me down as a creator, then you can kind of just keep these bad coding practices and just remember them for the next project, or change them as and when it becomes necessary to do so. At the moment, it's not necessary. So I just need to go into characters here and reference upgrades. And I'll need to do that in both places. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, but it's still quicker than changing the whole thing. So that is on the same thing. So that is characters. And then in main game, we'll do the same thing. We go GM, and we find characters and characters. upgrades is on here as well. There's upgrades, and it's referencing that. So let's give that a try. And if today, I've got a little bit of a case of the Fridays, as in it's the end of the week and I'm feeling a little bit burnt out. But yeah, so if we can get to a point where this works, then I'll be happy. So we've cleared this one. So upgrades is in fact referenced. It's not a null or a, it's not a null reference. And then so what, and it says that this is not like something in here is not a thing. So I need to find out debug.log. First of all, I guess character list. That could be where the null reference is. Character list.count is a good way of just seeing if that's all been done. Could be, can't be those. Current faction. Is that where it is? So current faction dot names 0. Let's try that, because I think it's got to be one of those. I don't know why. I mean, I could check, like, did we actually point to a current faction? Okay, so it's not either of those. Possible it's still a script execution order issue, which, due to either being stupid or having some mild undiagnosed dyslexia, I find really tricky to pass in my head. Okay, so that is not a thing apparently. Upgrades dot get upgrades soldier dot sprite. So why is that an issue? So why is that an issue? So let's look at script execution order. Hope there's nothing. So yeah, upgrades comes before characters. So, I think I know why. Because upgrades, because it's this mammoth script, I ended up putting it in a coroutine, so it is very likely that, it's almost certain, if not absolutely certain, that this won't have generated. So the soldier, in this case, doesn't actually exist yet, right? So if I say get me the upgrade that is soldier, it doesn't exist. So if I'm asking for the sprite of the soldier, it doesn't exist. So we can do how do we do this? So I would have to make this a coroutine so I can do a wait until. So we would do public, i.e. numerator. I guess it could be a private. Make it public if it needs to be private, i.e. numerator initialize. Initialize. We make a bool and we say, we don't need the bool here. We say yield return new wait until draw a willy with some sideways balls. Is that how it's done? It's been so long. I've done this so many times, but you wait until, you draw a little willy and then you do the bool. So you'll return you wait until upgrades dot initialized is equal to true. Could I just go upgrades dot initialized? I don't know. And then we do, and then so all of this, so I'll just collapse all of these. Special, balance, hero list. So we just take all of that and we go start coroutine initialize. And then we do this. And then I think the reason it's giving me red squiggly line here is because we don't have the thing. We don't have the thing that allows me to do a coroutine, which I think is like system.collections or something. Yeah, it must be, because otherwise it's the same. So characters system.collections. And so you see how it might have been easier if we just had everything in a fold, something called sprites. Live and you learn, don't you? Okay. So that's gotten rid of the squiggly line, and we can proceed. And now what's going to be the problem? Let's assume there's going to be lots of problems before I can actually get this game playing again. Even just pressing play, let alone like actually having the game work. Okay, what now? Okay. Okay. So yeah, what's happened here is we've asked for the heroes, but heroes, and we've asked for like the first thing in heroes, but there is nothing in heroes, so there is no first thing. And we know that because when we ask how many heroes we have there, it says 0. So we'll do the same thing. And so then it would be like, and again, this is like script execution order. So I wonder if, and yeah, because it's a coroutine, it's going to like not necessarily, it's just script execution order. So character select, so character select is happening before this. So hopefully, and the problem with this is that you can break other things. So whenever you hear about like coding best practices, this is why, so that you don't have to do this bloody puzzle. Because you've used best coding practices, you don't run into issues like this. You just avoid them entirely. Because it's like Warcraft. It has already been, well, the Warcraft, it's been solved already. You don't need to figure out what the best thing is for your class. And yeah, and I think script execution order doesn't really matter because we're using coroutines. So all kinds of issues. So even though this is happening before, oh wait, no, it would have to happen after. Okay, let's try that. But I think because it's coroutine, it might not even matter. So what I would have to do to tie this up, and I know it seems fiddly, but once it's solved, it's solved. I could say make a bool here, public static bool initialized, and then we say initialized equals false, and then here at the end we say, and yeah, I'm thinking the reason I'm doing it like this is because it's a coroutine. Even if it works once, it might not work the next time, just because of like it might be trying to do them at the same time. So we go bool initialized equals true. And just for good measure, I don't know if this is necessary, but I'm just going to go like initialized equals false, just in case that like resets when you reload the game or something. So then initialized equals false. So then back to character select. we also wait until characters dot initialized is equal to true. Let's give that a try. And since I'm doing it like that, I'm going to remove this from the script's execution order exceptions. And probably characters doesn't need to be there either. Like we're sort of duct taping this. So yeah, take this stream as like why best practices exist. Okay, what now? Okay, we had to go all the way down to bomber this time. So when we asked character list.count, and because we're doing that first, like when we get to bomber, and yeah, so this all works. I'll delete these. So I've solved that problem. But now the bomber, and it's only on bomber. So so here we're asking for GM again. Let me just see if am I doing that anywhere else in here? Yeah, it's just here. So what I'm going to want to do is in factions have a reference to weapon. And why isn't this static? Right? Like I would think I would want it to be static just so I can do it from anywhere. And then hopefully that will just work. Let's give it a try. Okay, so that's created a bunch of other problems, but I don't think that's going to be too difficult to solve. So we go weapons, and I think in this case, so if I go like that, I'm just gonna, God, I hope I'm not breaking too much here, but I see no reason why this wouldn't work. So we just go weapons.getWeapon, paste that, do all of them. See if there's any other obvious ones of these. So we just changed all of these to use the static method. Has that caused any issues? Right. Okay, and we're going to get a whole bunch of errors here, I reckon, which we'll just clear through. Good old code refactoring. Okay. Alright, let's give that a whirl then. What now? Okay, why does that wait until we get here? Did I misspell something? So this only occurs here. Chain lightning. It's just like quick ways to check spelling. Why would it wait until Mad Scientist 4 to have a problem? Upgrades Mad Scientist. Is that this? To my eyes, just like, yeah. Why is this a problem but not this? Ah, I'm surprised that didn't bring up an error before. Maybe I just never tried to summon Mad Scientist 4. Like this just never came up. Okay, good to know. So that would have caused problems even before the refactoring. Wow. Oh, we got somewhere. Okay, what now? This is great. This is great news. Buttons transform. Okay, I don't think that's actually where the problem is. Hero buttons transform. Oh, I think I know what might be the problem here. So select canvas. Because we haven't like generated the buttons. I bet this is going to be 0. Just to confirm my suspicion before I plow in and start fixing things. So it's trying to select the first one in the list, but I reckon there is nothing in the list. Yep, that's correct. So where do we populate the list? Right, so I'm going to have to get to grips with this script again. So that's unlocking them. So it could be a script execution order thing again. Should be a bit of a pain. I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's because that's happening at the start method. Oh, this is still happening before. So we ought to, okay, so we have a wake routine, and I think this needs to live, at least this needs to live in a wake routine, except, so I'm just gonna be a bit crude. So then this would go in awake routine. After we check, so it does get bloody complicated. Best practices, everyone. Best practices. They're there for a reason. And let's do it before we. And that should just work. Okay, getting somewhere. Except, of course, they're all locked. But one thing at a time. So, yeah, 16. And 16. Good. Okay. Right, where do we unlock them? Okay, so I think I haven't done anything to like actually lock or unlock the heroes, but they should all be locked by default. But let's say also just as part of the experiment, unlocked equals true because he is your starting character. And I just want to see before I plow ahead, I just want to see that in this menu Sean is unlocked. Just to confirm my suspicions. Okay. Right. So the code that unlocks characters. So where do we do that? Bit of a Hail Mary, but maybe. Okay. Okay, that never happens. So where is this? Character select. Wait. So we're not unlocking any heroes. Where do we unlock? So if I go Leafs. And I think that lives in. Is that title screen? I'm just going to crash a bunch of these because when I can't find the script I'm looking for, that means it's overcrowded. So we should have Beanie unlocked. And I just want to make sure again that that's happening before the other debug. Otherwise it's a script execution order issue. So yeah, I knew there'd be problems with this. Alright, so Beanie is unlocked. But for some reason that's not taking. So we go for each leaf in Leafs. If So where do we unlock? I see. Okay. So would it be horrible if I put this after this? So we're waiting until characters have been initialized before we try and unlock it. Okay, we have Beanie. Right. Okay, brilliant. Fantastic. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. Lovely. Ooh, miss quick. Okay, what would be the next thing we'd want to try? So, I mean, so one of the things I can do is, like, as a temporary thing, just to test all the heroes, I want to just unlock them. So, like, I can go, so let's go back to characters. And right here at the bottom, I'm going to say temporary. Or testing. I haven't really made a thing for this because I would like to be able to find anything that says testing and remove it, but it probably won't come up. Anyway, for each character in heroes, character dot unlocked equals true. And then we should be able to see that we have access to all of the heroes. We do. Okay. Oh, Archibald and Atisalef have the wrong sprites. I have a cousin called Archibald. Well, he's called Archie, but... okay, so that would mean that in main game, if I go to... What would it be? Characters. Archibald sprite is indeed pointing to Atisalef, and Atisalef is indeed pointing to Archibald. Atisalef. Yeah. Okay, so we go 11, 10. Good. All right. And I would need to, unfortunately, due to my spaghetti, I have to slurp a bit of the spaghetti up by copying that component, scenes, character select. It would be a big job to refactor this so that this doesn't become a problem again. But then that's probably, yeah, so we go main game. Like I would just, I could do that. Maybe I should do that, but I'm my brain is full. Characters, copy component, character select, paste component values. Oh, and that's a problem because I will then need to do this. Awkward AF, I would say. And global HP multiplier should be private. I used to listen to music before I started streaming. I would listen to music and podcasts, and I'd probably be listening to, like, You Say Run. So I'm like riding through the wastes, squashing bugs. Okay, just while I remember. So the issue is every time this changes, I'd have to like copy it over. But the thinking is it's not going to come up that often. And then once before finally exporting the build, I would like copy all of them. So we're going to copy all weapons, copy component, and then back to character select. Select canvas, and we just say that the GM one is always the latest one. And so that should mean that we can see her claw. Of course. Okay, so what's the problem here? So debug.log. Okay, let's try that. Maybe it's that we haven't set the player yet. That might be it. Yeah, I think that's probably it. Unless that's player equals set player. So yeah, set player is there. Oh no, yeah, no, we should have. Oh no, player is new character container. But no, we want set player. Okay, that is there. All right. So there's going to be a fundamental issue with how I do this. So yeah, I'm going to assume it's that. Let's just, before I, again, just test my theory before I start arresting people like a detective. Test the theory before I put anyone in prison. Right. So it knows it's a Tisselef. The problem is player has... So like we're saying construct character. So I think what I need to do is construct character. Probably doesn't need... So what if we got rid of this? Because the thing is, we're going to want to like check, like... Because what I want to be able to do sometimes, so in this case we just say don't, you know, we just make the character, but then what I want to be able to do is say make that the player, right? But I've like we just construct it. So yeah, I think we'll go back on that. Make that the player. So but does that mean we have to instantiate it outside of here? Construct character. Because it's saying player is null. Player equals new character container. So if I want that functionality, so this is a thing of like getting better at coding. So what I want to be able to do is once I've made this character, I want to be able to say, right, that character, do other stuff to it. Right? So in that case, we need to sort of have this variable assigned. I can't like, so let's say if it didn't have an out, I'd be like, right, great, construct character. I'd be like, okay, can you grab me that character, please? I mean, maybe that would be a simpler way to do it. And then I could just go player equals that. Player equals like, is that the issue? So what if player was null? What if player was null? It can't. Just double check. Can you tell me? So is it like what is the null reference? Is it the player? Because I would think I'd be able to say, yeah, okay, here's a player, it's null, and then the constructor says this player is an instantiation of the prefab that we've made. Okay, so it's not that. And if it's not that, and if it's not... So that should say a TSLF. Huh. So we haven't found a hero. So that's it. I think that's it. Because, yeah, in theory, I should be able to say, yeah, player. Wait, hold on. We don't even need to... We don't need to assign player here. Okay. So that is giving a bug. Oh wait, gm.heroes. No, we don't need this anymore. So I am gonna be brutal and delete that. Because yeah, the heroes list. Okay, I see. Heroes. Yeah, no, we don't need this anymore. Good old refactoring. Okay. So this would be characters.heroes.first.default. Okay, let's try that. Let's try it like that and see if that works. Okay, good start. Instantiate character container prefab. Okay, character container prefab. Is that null? I think it is. Yeah, it is going to be null. In fact, we haven't even made that. So, let's just take one of our prefabs. So we'll take our characters, human beings, and let's just take like a soldier. And this, and I will take this, put it into prefabs. And call this character controller prefab. Character container. I keep making that mistake. It's not a character controller, it's a character container. Right, okay. So then we take that. And this has some things assigned to it, but what should happen is when we construct the thing, it should change those things. Right? And then what we would need to do is in GM, so scenes, main game, GM, and then we'll have it somewhere here. Character container prefab. So that's another thing we need to make. So that would be prefabs, character container prefab. Okay, and then we've also got item collector prefab, which is not... Is that a prefab yet? So if we go into looter, it is not a prefab, so we need to make that a prefab. We'll just put it in the root folder for now. I know I'm messy, but you know, what can you do? Okay, so then that would also need to be assigned over here. Item collector. This is just a bit of a script that tells the thing to collect or not. Okay, and then back to title screen. Oh, music starting. Okay. Huh? Why is that pointing there? Wait, what? Trying to create a mono behavior using the new keyword. Can we just say null? And then what was the other one? Well, we'll get to that. Set weapon. Okay, we'll get to this one. I don't know about this one, but let's see if we can deal with the first one. It might just be that because one bit of code hasn't compiled, it like hasn't, you know what I mean? Like fix the first one, and then the others may then work, because it could just be because another script hasn't got to the end because it hadn't hit an error that it causes compounding errors. So it's not like, yeah, I'm not going to investigate that yet. Okay, so yeah, that is its own error. Debug.log weapon.names. So I don't understand this one at all. Which weapon container? Weapon animator dot innate. So is that just with banner? Let me see. Weapon animator. Okay, so that should be. Okay, this is odd. Character sprite renderer. Weapon animator. Okay, and I need to think about this. So on weapon container. So is that because we're like doing it at start and it's like not ready yet? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this and this because that should just that should be assigned in the editor. Shouldn't be a problem. And what was the bug? It was saying, yeah, it's trying to do something that hasn't been assigned. Okay. Yeah, is that, what was it? Weapon animator of weapon. Okay, so this should be a simple fix then. I don't know why that wouldn't have been a problem before then, but okay, so I should not save it each time. Come on. Come on. So that one is that. That one is that. Maybe like I did it manually. I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I think it's, yeah, just kind of like script execution error. Like, because we're like, this isn't set in the prefab, we have to construct it and it's doing it at the start. But this is a really simple fix because I don't have to do this for every character and I never did. So, yeah. All right. So that is indeed pointing to that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see where that leaves us. The thing is, the fear whenever you refactor a large amount of code, the fear is that you won't understand the problems that come up because they'll sort of be manifold. But if you do, but since I am understanding the problems as they come up, I'm happy about that. Okay, getting there. Okay, so we don't need this debug anymore, I don't think. And this... And I'm going to go for a quick smoke while that compiles. Be right back. I'll leave a fun clickbaity image while I'm gone. Because one time I had like 150 views just because I had some like... And I think it's to do with having had some wacky... image like just left on the screen. Like yeah, I wasn't even there. Basically, it's silly. Let's do some like wacky. Yeah. Some big old like hello. What now? Okay. So character container that my team has not been assigned. Okay. So when would we do that? Um, hmm. Character contained on my team. So my team has not been assigned.
Pipí, pupú, solo pipí. Cuidado con los dedos.
Okay.
Venga. Okay. ¿Listo? Papi, no, chico, usa una toallita, no te limpias con la mano. Hijo, hazme el favor. Claro. Claro, ya lo sabía yo. Papi. No, Phoenix. Ven. Ay. Tienes que quitarte ese pantalón también porque te quiero poner un
Okay, so this is in weapon container.
Claro, mi amor. Porque ese no es tuyo. Porque tuviste un pequeño accidente en la guardia y te pusieron ese, pero ese no es tuyo. Ay.
So where would we set team? Team. So my team equals space. Is that his pooping sounds?
I'm afraid so.
Ay, 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 ay.
Let me close the door.
I make those noises sometimes. I don't know if I do it when I'm pooing.
Isn't that TMI?
Hmm?
Isn't that
I
TMI?
don't know. There's no one watching right now.
Well, what if someone does?
then they'll have TMI. It's fine.
¿Terminaste? Ok, relájate. Deja que el pipí salga por el culo.
Right now, this is bringing up a bug as well.
No, ya lo hice hace rato. Pupi, 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 pupi. Pupi. Ah, porque
Maybe it's that the character container hasn't been set yet for whatever reason. Okay, so the character container hasn't been set. Set targeting type. So the character container hasn't been set. Where would I set the character container?
No sé, tú sabrás. ¿Te relaja esos sonidos?
Dot parent. Dot parent.
Pues parece que sí. No me gusta mucho, la verdad. De hecho, tampoco me gusta que estén en tu habitación. Porque no es la habitación de los gatos, es la habitación de Cyrus.
I mean, couldn't that just be... I think that should just be set in the editor.
Porque ¿dónde va a dormir Phoenix? Claro. Un poquito más grande.
Seems like it's quicker load time now, which is nice. So a weapon container. Oh yeah, we would need to set that. Except now that we're using a single thing, that shouldn't be a problem. Because basically I had nested like prefabs, because that way I wouldn't have to change everything every time. But since that's not a problem anymore, so we can just go into character container, and just for each of those we just go character container. And I should do that when we're not in play, although because it's a prefab it shouldn't matter. Okay, so this should clear that up. Okay, well I don't know why he has the soldier sprite. I think because we haven't actually set the sprite in the character constructor. Rookie error. So construct character, get pulled character. Yeah, so construct character, and then when we make it, names character, so it'd be character sprite renderer dot sprite renderers dot sprite. Wait, wouldn't it be all of them? So character sprite renderer dot sprite renderers dot sprite. Yeah, it would be all of them. When do we do that? Is that on the character container? So where is that? Homogenized sprites, that's it. So if we delete that, then that should bring up an error because, okay, so character container just does homogenized sprites, but we don't want to do it like that. So we go for each, actually we'll go back. To double check, yeah, we'll just copy this. Should do it. And yeah, I'll be happy if I can just get this code to compile. If I could just get the game running again, you know, at least like, yeah, I guess playing through a session, like I'll be surprised if spawning allies and enemies goes off without a hitch. But yeah, okay, so it's the right character sprite and things happen, so we can delete some of these. HP bar fill. So character container. Okay, so we don't need to do this anymore. go into our and just make sure that HP bar fill is set. Because that's always going to be the same, so HP bar. Okay, so mana bar. So we go character canvas, mana slider bar, HP bar fill. Would be that. Okay. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so if I go into one of my heroes, that's why it's good that I haven't deleted these yet. We go we go battle cry. Okay, so on my okay. Might actually be better optimized now. Just less little like things that have to be assigned. Like this is ever so slightly quicker. Okay. Okay, so player controller. So has a player controller. Okay, so we need that. And we go on to okay, and then this should be disabled by default, but enabled in the case of a hero. So let me set player. Okay, so then character container would need See that's compiling like all of my prefabs, but I'm not going to delete them yet because I may yet need them. But yeah, that will be nice to get rid of those. It will make compiling in general quicker, which will be nice. And yeah, of course we have this other issue that like nothing's spawning, but we'll get to that. Okay, we're moving. Apparently there's something there, and something just did infinity damage. So interesting. Okay, so return to pool works for objects but not characters. And then we also need to deal with the issue of... So it seems that there's something there, but it's just invisible. And they're doing infinity damage. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. I'm just going to delete this for now because it's distracting me. Okay, so return to pool is useful. That works, but we need that. We don't want that to happen for characters. Instead, we'll use a separate thing. So the character has a return to pool after thing, which means that basically after a while, the character just kind of like disappears if it's been alive too long. But let's just for now, and that's like a balancing thing, like that's a gameplay thing. But at the moment, I don't feel a strong need for that. Why would that be there? It would be there because the character is null. Yeah, it would be there because like essentially like if you're doing too well and you've got old characters that are sticking around too long. Just sorry, before I continue, I'm just going to knock this off the list. So I go into prefabs, effects, projectiles, goblin launcher, and what was it? Assign goblin 1 to 4 to launch a projectile. So the goblin launcher. Ally name. Okay, so that would be let's go back here, prefabs, effects, and I just need to write in goblin 2, goblin 3, goblin 4. Done. And if it doesn't work, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay. I didn't want to lose my place, but I did just lose my place. Okay, so right, so yeah, we do still want them to like decay, but like we return to pool, no. When a character dies, Yeah, we don't want that to happen. We want it to simply do that. And then return to pool after should not be on the character. We can just say like, so character, that goes away. Okay, setup timer 180. Yeah, so each of them lasts for 180 seconds. So yeah, if you had an army that just wasn't dying, and you had like some of your level 1 soldiers in addition to level 4 soldiers, you could end up with too many characters at once quite easily. So we just want to just decay units. It's a bit cheap, but you know. And so we would want a different thing. Do we have destroy after? We do. And we want another one which is like so we go to our and we go to, we don't want our return to pool after. We do want a new script called set inactive after. Like, but more like this. Yeah, so we just need to make sure to do that. So let's copy this instead. Yeah, let's copy all of this. I'll call this character controller timer. In the bucket with everything else. Gimme. Where is it? Oh, errors. Yeah, and it's nice using this single constructor prefab because, like, I know that I don't have to do this for every single character, so that's nice. Okay, character container prefab. Okay, now I don't appear. Okay, because I need to actually set that. Okay, so in the case of the hero, so we need to go set player. Player.get component. Set character. Decay. Character. Controller. Contain. Oh, character controller. Controller. Container. I'm such an idiot. Can it not select that from here? So that's gone proper tiny. Okay. Oh, did I set the levels? Might need to do that just while I remember. Looter. Okay. Do we say if looter is equal to true? So level equals. Okay, can we do like so is looter just while I remember. Oof. Oh, that was one thing I needed to do. Just because I know this is going to be an issue. So we go. It would be 180. Okay, but he's seen something. But how? Where? Why is it invisible? So let's grab him. And has he got a target? Okay, so he's looking at a soldier, and the soldier is over here. And the soldier... So why is he invisible? Ah, 'cause scale is 0. Right, okay. So size equals 1. All the little things that occur when when you refactor code and all these little things that, you know, pop up. Okay. Okay, it seems that they can't move. Is that because their speed is 0? What could it be? Character. We can't see their speed because we can't see the character. We just check quickly. Rigid body, yeah, freeze position. Okay, so freeze. Why would why would it be frozen on XY position? Oh, it's frozen on those. Okay, yeah, right. So it's not that. It's not kinematic. Speed. Why can't it move? Looks like it's trying to move. Oh, it's following my movement. So has the character controller been disabled? Player controller. No, it hasn't. So why hasn't it been? Because I guess it should be disabled by default. Did I just forget to do that? Yeah, player controller is disabled by default. Okay, that's a start. Let's try again then. Okay, so it's just not moving. Why is it just not moving? At least the sword's aiming at me. Why is there damage infinity? And why aren't I picking stuff up? Oh, I think because... Okay, and I think the damage thing there is like because it has... so yeah, I think character, at least while I'm looking at this, character should be... just like I think weapon is? System.serializable, yeah, except I changed that. Okay, so yeah, in characters, system. So that means that I should be able to see it in the editor. Mm. What now? Hold on, I'm confused. Stop paying attention for a second. Hmm. Hold on, what did I just change? Why is that an issue now? Sorry, what did I just change? I lost what I was doing. Is it because of that? Don't know how that could change that. Okay, so character spawns, can't do anything. And the allies aren't spawning at all. And I'm doing infinity damage. And Death SFX is playing on spawn for some reason. Is it playing on death? It is. Okay. Right. So that we'll deal with that later. I thought that was happening. That's why I had that play death clip debug. Okay. A few things to work through here. But it would all be worth it. So what I would... Okay, so I think I should deal with why are allies not spawning? And should that point to a name instead of just a character? Okay, let's see. So that's just never happening. So we're not making ally spawners. So why... Okay, yeah, okay, I get it. Because if it's serializable, then it means that it's there even if it's null sometimes. Weird, but okay. I'm just going to change my character to Sean as well, just because it could be an issue with the specific character. So I'll just pick the Captain Vanilla. And why is... Wait. Okay, so upgrade.ally is equal to null. Okay. So this is a big one. Ally. So upgrade.ally. Is a character. However, we're telling it. Shouldn't that cause an error? Shouldn't it be like... I guess if it's null, it wouldn't. But I'm thinking, why wouldn't it say, oh, the soldier prefab is... Oh, it is a character. Because I didn't change that. Okay. So ally equals... Oh, but if that happens before... Characters.get character... Because weapons, and I'm going to do it the same way I did weapons. So if we do allies, weapons, it does a get weapon. Okay, ally equals... Okay, so I need to think... I think I can do an intelligent find and replace here. So I go... Replace... So I'd go ally equals... So if I do ally equals and replace that with ally equals characters dot get, and we'll deal with script execution order later, like that. And let's just go crazy and do that to all of them. And then we go up here. I know that you can do like more intelligent find and replaces, but I can't be bothered to figure out how to do that now. Okay, so this one was a wait, what? Did I just press that twice? Okay. And then we would want a space between. So if we just went to prefab, and does that ever pick up anything that's not an ally? I don't think so. So to prefab should become space to close quote, close brackets, comma. Let's do one of them. No, just remove the comma. Okay. Wait. Okay. What the hell is going on? Why is... Okay, so that did all of those. No, it didn't. There we go. And then we'll start from this end, so we go 3 prefab, comma, should be close, space 3, oh, for God's sake, why? Oh, God. I think I'm just being a moron, but... okay. So, ally equals should be... and that applies to all of them. And then... and then this one's a dupe. And then get character, and then 3 prefab should be space 3, like that. Does it work there? Just without the comma. Okay, so let's do that. And then 2 prefab becomes... why did it lose that? Why did it lose what I was replacing it with? Okay, so let's do it again. 2 prefab becomes... oh, I think that was correct. So 2 prefab becomes, yeah, looted 2. So let's do that to all of them. And then prefab only applies to this. So we say should just become nothing. Okay, and then we need to do, sadly it's this issue with mega, like mega is vestigial basically. So get character mega rogue anytime. I'm going to use grok. In Visual Studio Code, I would like to replace all mega x with x space Roman numeral 4, for example, soldier. So for example, mega soldier should become soldier 4. And then what it should be able to do is okay, yeah, so we click the regex thing and then we go find mega something something with oh, I'm gonna do open quotes mega, close quotes mega. And I'm just going to edit, just make sure that that doesn't like mess with the syntax. Yeah, let's just try it. Mega that with $1 V, and we would need that as well. Oh, for God's sake! Close brackets. So Mega Mage just became Mage 4. So if I do that to all of them. Oh, what's the problem? Okay, hopefully that's just like... What's the issue? At this point, it's almost would have been quicker to just do it manually. Okay, so actually it would have been would have been better. So I think I just didn't need the close brackets there. So what about like that? It kept it. So if I just go 4 like that and go oh, come on. The Fridays. Okay, so the problem is up here. Okay, what about down here? Talent upgrades. Null. Approaching the territory of it would have just been quicker for me to do it manually. But you know, I'm learning about how this works. So I'm learning about how to do complex find and replace jobs. So I say complex. I don't know if this counts as complex. It's complex for me. I don't see the error. Oh, here we go. just going to do this bit manually. Okay, and then we have this brave task of unassigning these prefabs. So is there any chance I'm going to go back? I don't think so. I think these are gone. These are done with. And I'm just going to do it manually.
More aspects of their items.
No, I don't want to watch that video. Just accidentally clicked the tab. Right, I do want to watch that video, just not now. Yeah. Is there a way to not do this manually? So I would find. We're seeing hide. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, let's do it manually. So I could switch to like ChatGPT. It's experiencing high demand at the moment. Well, I'm experiencing a high fuck you. So we're at an impasse. We're at an impasse. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these. 80 times 4. That's how many there are. Is there a better way? I should learn how this thing works. Okay, fuck it, ChatGPT. In Visual Studio Code, can I replace any instance of with nothing? For example, so it's a star. It's a dot star. Public character dot star. Then the rest of it. And then leave, replace, empty. Oh, turn regis back on. Yes. Except we wouldn't need this. Okay, seems to have done it. Seems to have done it. And we get these annoying gaps. But that's better than me having to go through each one. Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, we are not pointing to anything in those, and instead we are going characters.get character, and I'm expecting issues with script execution order. But character would become before upgrades, so it shouldn't be a problem. Except they're like coroutines, so we'll see. And it's a bit awkward because, like, I mean, it showed it correctly there, so yep, it's up there. All right. Okay, great. So now we just have this problem that no one's moving. Okay. Is this a team issue? So I can see my teams. Okay, they're on the teams. And soldier, my team is correct. Goblin, my team is correct. So the issue is, I reckon it's just like their speed is 0 or something. I don't know why their weapons aren't like pointing. The weapons should be pointing at the characters though, so oof, okay. It's harder when there isn't a when it doesn't just give you a bug, you know, it's just something not working, because then you have to engage brain a bit more. You can't just go to the bit of code that's wrong and like fix it. You have to be a bit intelligent. So characters are not moving, and I don't think it's down to speed. Because otherwise the character's targets, and yeah, so the issue is they're not like pointing their weapons at each other. So we go to our I mean, it's working for the hero, so why wouldn't it work for the others? For each character in characters. So be character container this should say character container. Just as a matter of like clarity. So I don't know why they're not attacking each other. Why they're like not even pointing their weapons at each other. So I don't know if there's some issue, like maybe they think their range is lower, but the hero's doing fine, so we'll have to see. And I don't know why the okay, so they're targeting each other. So I can actually go and grab, like, so your nearest target should be that goblin. Nearest target, I think it's just target. I probably should tidy this up so it's easier to find things, but target. Nearest target is goblin, which is indeed that one. Okay. So is it down to the weapon? Weapon container. Target. It doesn't have a target. So the weapon container. Character has a target with the weapon container. Doesn't. Oh. Just asking. Because my little baby is old enough, it seems, to like play with some of the toys at the park, like because they can cruise, I think they call it. He can cruise, meaning he can't walk, but he can like walk if he's holding on to something, which means he can actually start to enjoy some of the little things at the playground. And yeah, I guess that's fun for him. But he can't like, I was just checking that he's warm enough, basically. Right. So, the weapons are not targeting. That's the issue. The hero's weapon is targeting, but the others are not. So, we can do... Okay. So for each weapon container, I mean, yeah, I'm quite stumped. I don't know why. I'm sure I'll figure it out though, and then it's going to be click, and then everything will start working, and then we'll find the next bug. But yeah, this big refactoring's been quite a job, but had to be done because we're entering the balancing phase, and I need to be able to have better control over my character stats rather than just using the prefabs. Yeah, I don't know why that's not blue. So yeah, that's working fine. So what's the issue? Just check they're even looking for a target. And then oh. Okay. And then we can figure out why I can't find one. I'm gonna go toilet and smoke. Be right back. Okay. Why are the weapons not targeting anyone? What is target? It could be something simple here. Character contain target. So weapon is null. So the other characters are not getting past this point. How can their weapon be null? So we take this guy. Okay, so I'm going to make this serializable so I can read it in the scene. Loading does seem quicker. What? How can... So... this upgrade dot weapon dot names. Got the Fridays. Got a case of the Fridays. Right, okay. Like, is it something that I messed with the script execution order? Like, I think it's going to be something like I should take some of the stuff that's in the character start method and move it to the character construct thingy. Weapons. Why is that happening 100 times? Why is that happening 100 times? So, starting upgrades. Okay, we don't have a start or an awake method on the character container. Oh no, we do. So why did that not? Yeah. Okay. So where do we apply? Where do we apply the starting upgrades? I mean, it's not Warclaw though, because I mean we can see that it's the right weapon. Yeah, we do it here. This is a puzzle. I'm gonna solve it. It's just oof. It's taking some time. Okay, it happened again at Warclaw. So I'm thinking, because the weapon is null. Is it because the war has two? No, it doesn't have two claws. We changed that. It's just one. So while it makes sense for a creature to have two claws, they end up just overlapping each other. So you can just have one. It's fine. So, upgrades. Warg. Claw. And then weapons. Warg. Claw. I feel like this is just a problem with the Warg Claw, but... I don't get it. I don't get it. Yes, it's happening 100 times because there's 100 wargs that are being spawned. Why? What's the issue? So wait a sec. So this upgrade dot names. So on this one, this upgrade is weapon. Okay. If this upgrade is a weapon, so this has nothing to do with characters. Oh, my brain. I'm sure I'll have a better time doing this, but I do want to, like, if I did this tomorrow or Monday, but I want to figure this out. But my brain is just not figuring it out. So we apply the upgrade, and that's working for all of them. Club, Brawler, and that seems like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be 9, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, are there 10? Are there 10 orcs? Oh, because it's number 2 as well. Okay. very lost. Okay, so apply starting upgrades, and we go apply the upgrade to the character, but then we get to why is that only happening with Walkerclaw? Because it's almost like Warclaw then is the only thing that has his weapon on. Is this to do with... Okay, yeah, so whip is weapon. All these things are weapons. What's happening twice? Why is that happening twice? Oh, it's happening once for... yes, a sword is weapon. And if we go down to Warg, Claw is weapon. Okay, so that's not the issue. It's not that things aren't turning into weapon. Okay. It's a real mystery. And I don't understand why it's only happening to Warclaw. Copy weapon. Okay. Wait. Copy weapon. So in this selection, wait, no, because it's the upgrade. I'm I don't know why. Current weapon dot names. So current weapon. Okay, so if current weapon. If current weapon dot names dot count is greater than 0, otherwise don't do it. That's going to be it for this part. So if you make something serializable, like it could be, you can tell it to be null, but it would still just be end up being not null, but like an empty thing. And so in this case, because we're applying Warclaw 2, it's saying, okay, well, let's replace Warclaw 1 then, except Warclaw 1 doesn't exist, and it doesn't realize that. I think that's it. Yeah, because it's saying for each prereq. Okay. Okay, interesting. Sean looking for target with sword. Okay, but this guy, so he's got his starting upgrades, right? Oh, he has no upgrades. Yeah, he does have an upgrade. He has an upgrade and it's a weapon. And that weapon is... a sword. Yeah, so that's correct. Okay. That is indeed the sword. So he gets his upgrades. But then his weapon container has a weapon which is empty. So when we... Okay, so if upgrade dot is weapon, weapon container dot get weapon, or okay. So let me just try something. This whole like serial, like it's annoying to me. So if you serialize something, then that makes it possible to just be like not null but empty. So let's comment this out, and then we should be able to get past a lot of these stages. Because then if it's not serializable, then it can be null, right? Otherwise, it will be just there, but with empty stats. So it won't count as null. So the way I check then is to check if it doesn't have any names, that means it must not actually be a weapon. Which is really annoying. Something for me to watch out for in my next project, and I still don't fully understand it, but you know, there it is. And now I expect to see that their weapons appear. So like the upgrade has applied because we've gone into, if upgrade is weapon, set weapon, could that be it? Could that be it? So debug.log. But why is that working for the hero but not? But not the other characters. That could be a clue. Why is it working for the hero but not the other characters? It's a very unexpected bit of bug here for what I've been doing. It's been messing with characters, not heroes. Okay, so we have set a weapon. So I'm going to try another thing. It could be that, because we have this weird thing that if the character is not Sean, then we replace Sean, and it could be something to do with that. So let's just see if does Beanie get a weapon that actually functions. And we'll deal with the infinity damage thing later, but like, okay. So, this weapon container does not have a target, probably because it doesn't have a weapon. Beanie's weapon is not null, but these guys, so the weapon is null. That's why it's not targeting, but why is the weapon null? How could it possibly be null? So it looks like we set the weapon and then on spawn spawning with where would we do that? This we don't need this get weapon like this was. So the weapon is public, yeah. That's going to cause a few errors. So the unit's weapon is null. Okay, so when do we... so that's where we apply starting upgrades. Yeah, so we apply starting upgrades, and so let's put this like here. So we go apply upgrade, upgrade.weapon. This is character container. So confusing and so just like off the rails of what I have been working on. So it's like annoying that so I did something to refactor characters and that's great and that's all working fine now, but this weirdness with the weapon now instead. So yeah, weapon container.weapon.name. So like bow, ranger. So the ranger gets a bow. So it's like at some point it gets a weapon. But then at some point it becomes null. When does it become null? And why only the character? Why only the non-hero characters? Okay, what if, as an experiment, we moved this here? Because it's fine there. And I think that's where it was before. Oh, for real, like, just fine. There should be a weapon there, though. I guess because the apply weapon routine, it's a co-routine, so it may take a little bit of time. Is that the issue? I mean, if this works, I'm just gonna be okay with it. Oh. Okay. It does work. And I don't foresee any problems with it. Okay. Right. So, the next mystery to solve is why is all the damage infinity? So, we go take damage. Is it this? Is it because armor is 0? I think that would be it. So this was a silly thing. I did mess around with this, so it would make sense. So I think this was on the assumption. So the old way was like armor would default to 0. And then if you had more than one, like, but if armor defaulted to 1, okay, I think that's going to be it. So this is a much easier one to solve. Okay. See, I think it's something along the lines of like, I'm not going to try and understand it. If it's fixed now, it's fixed. I'm not going to investigate the murder of someone who isn't dead. As I've said before, like, debugging is a bit like being a murder detective, except you're always the killer. The killer is always you. You just need to figure out method and motive. Yeah. Beanie should be a bit faster. She was a bit faster before, so characters, Beanie. And she should have speed equals, I think she's just a little bit faster. I can actually check the old unused prefabs now and go, what was Beanie? So heroes, human, Beanie. She had, oh, it doesn't work like that anymore. I can't actually see it. But her speed was, well, we can muck around with this. So we can give her speed 6, and then max HP is I guess because she's not like a super fast character, but max HP would be so if hero HP is, yeah, hero HP times 0.9. Is that fair? I don't want to penalize her too much, just make her a bit faster. Okay, that's that. And I just need to check in my head. Yeah, so when I changed this damage calculation, it was on the assumption that, so if armor is 1, then your damage is normal. If armor is 2, damage is divided by 2. If armor is 10, damage is divided by 10. So it's a damage mitigator. Yeah. Which means we might need to make armor more powerful. So like, yeah, no, it goes up to 2. So like damage is divided by up to 2. Yeah, that should work. I mean, we can tweak these things. I just want to make sure things are working for now. So, yeah, she's a little bit faster. Okay, let's see how far we get, because units are spawning in, they're getting their weapons. That is a big achievement considering how much we've changed. And have I somehow, like, nerfed myself? Due to, like, maybe the rangers, because they have less HP. So I might roll back that change, and, I might roll back that change. Why does the hero have a red HP bar? So set player. HP bar fill dot color equals. There we go. Set hero. Set player. What do we pick? Buff, mana, buff, buff. None of these. Oh, yeah, buff. But buffers have more HP. But yeah, so I gave the rangers less HP because I felt like maybe that would be fair. Like ranged units should have less HP. But maybe that's not the case. I don't know. I'll pick dagger just because it synergizes. It combines with something that I have. And we've got Ranger and Bannerman. I'll pick Priest because it can combine with Bannerman. Okay. Yeah. This is working. Oh, some wargs. Oh, and they've got their nice little yellow claws now. They didn't have that before. Everything is working. I have to say the game seems to be running slightly smoother as well. Range, rations. What does range and rations do? I think that's a Reign of Chicken. I'm not sure if I want that. I'll go with just range. Buff mana doesn't seem to be working. I think we have to go for the hero. Player.mana. Does she have mana? Like, is this a thing that's happening? So, is it just that it's hidden? So yeah, she's got some mana. It's just her, yeah, and I think I had that set on manually with the prefabs. So I would need to go in and say, character canvas. So how would I find that? Do I have character canvas? No. I'm going to do a really roundabout way of doing this. Player.hbp bar dot parent. No. Dot transform dot parent dot get. This is so roundabout. Child. 1 dot, does that get child 1 brackets, not parentheses rather than brackets, dot game object dot set active true. delicious spaghetti, but it will work. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. And if we've got range stuff, and we've got mana, like, yeah, let's just get more ranged weapons then. And yeah, we are going to fundamentally change buff mana, so I'm not going to think about balancing that, because we're going to make it that instead of giving you a bit of mana as a chance, it's going to be a much lower chance to actually just give you a mana gem, which is going to be fun. Okay. I may still run into more bugs as a result of this refactoring. However, for now, oh, I've already got it. Yeah, and that'll look much better when I do what I plan to do with it. At least the game is running. We may run into more bugs later, but right now the game is fucking running. Excuse my language. But this way I can enjoy my weekend. So yeah, I think I'll take this run as far as it will go, because we could run into problems like when we load the next wave. Where do I expect problems to occur? That skull is crap. I need to glow up talents. Yeah, glow up talents. Have the glow up talents. Glow up talents. Same resolution as characters and weapons, because we can make them look really pretty, right? Because they're much lower resolution. If we use the same resolution and just kind of try and draw the same thing, we should get some nice looking talents. And oh, the game is healing. Isn't it beautiful? Pro tip: if you get an army full of ranged units and shield bearers, that tends to be quite good. Yeah, and it would be like, so the buff one would be buff mana should apply, make it so buffed characters, put this down here. Yeah, buff should be when they die. Is that good? I'll put a question mark. Buff mana should make it so that buffed characters have a chance to drop the gem. Buff artifacts. Drop the thing. So we've got a nice big army here. Yeah, buff mana is way too powerful. Nice big army here. Everything's working. I'm going to grab AoE. I think part of this optimization is down to the lower spawn rate of the Bannerman, which is offset by having double HP for all buffers. So let's keep that going. And it would be nice to see how much mana I have, but for this run, and I've already fixed that, but for this run, we're not going to have it. Hello, little boy.
How do I change the video that I watch into a game?
Oh, you have to use the remote control
What did I say, Cyrus?
of the telly. What did Mummy say? Did Mummy say not to bother Daddy when he's working?
I need to press this to change it to the game.
You need to use the remote. I'm glad you're getting into games. That's sweet.
Cyrus,
Can
vamos para afuera.
I-
No, porque te dije que no entraras en la habitación de papá. Y fue lo primero que hiciste. No, señor.
It's not a big deal, I guess. Yeah, we have to teach him that. I'm not too bothered, but we have to kind of set that boundary.
Nada. Ah, bueno, vale. Entonces no pasa nada. No te voy a ayudar porque tú no me ayudas a mí.
And yeah, so I'll just get as far as I can with this run. So yeah, we've got the only unit that does damage in this army is the archers. Everyone else is just supporting the archers. So it looks a bit funny sometimes. They like run into our units and like start smashing them, and it takes a while for them to die. But yeah. Yeah, like so one thing that's funny is like so the difference between testing and armchair design. Armchair design like says figure it all out before you start making the game, but I maybe a smarter person than me could have figured out that in this game where you've got units killing other units for you, that the XP gems that drop are less likely to drop near you, so you're going to spend more of your time going to get them, which I think is fun. But yeah, I couldn't have considered that. So it's just like an interesting thing that happens to the game there, right? In a way, it makes it makes movement speed a bit more useful for the hero, or like. I mean, what you get is you can have a unit which each faction has a unit which can collect items for you, which obviously makes that easier. I'm really surprised at how well the game is running even within Unity at the moment. I think the buffer thing was a good idea. So buffers spawn less frequently, and that's what this was all. Oh, that's what this was all about. Okay, I don't know what's causing that. I think it's probably something to do with this. So the warlock has probably got some upgrade, which doesn't work. He's got his list is empty. Meaning that something has gone wrong. So he's replacing an upgrade, and we don't know, and it's probably chain lightning fireball, chain lightning fireball. I mean, he shouldn't be replacing existing upgrade. But yeah, this is all spelled correctly. Chain lighting. No, it's not spelled correctly. That's the problem. How often do we have chain lighting in the script? Just here. And that's why we don't use strings. That's why you're not supposed to use strings. Yeah, funny armor we've got. We've only got one damage dealer in the army. It's quite an interesting. I think I'll take this just because it combines, and I want to just get my last upgrade slot filled. Okay, we are rolling. Ah, we did this big refactor and we're back in the game. The game's working again. Everything's gonna be fine. But yeah, because we have buffers and we have Bannerman and Priest. It's like our army is pretty, like we're a very tanky army right now. So yeah, like unlike Vampire Survivors, where all the stuff's going to drop next to you, sometimes the stuff drops a bit further away. But that does mean you get these nice moments of picking up these big bunches of gems, and you can kind of just circle your army. What's this? I think it's just the same bug again. Yeah. Probably got another spelling error somewhere. Very tanky army. Could become a problem later. Yeah, and the field could look a bit nicer. I mean, I think a lot of what we need to do now is we need to glow up the game a bit, because it's just not very visually appealing, and I'm not very good at that. But I have been banging my head against this canvas for a while, and I'm starting to see room for improvement that is within my capability. Okay, we can have the tower by combining our archer and our shield bearer, and the tower has a shield and a bow and lots of HP, but it can't move. See how much HP it has? Just tanking those hits. And sort of the healing is starting to kind of not really be enough. Okay, so since they're going to combine, so I should get like I'll get a new ranged character. Okay, so we're starting to take some hits now, because yeah, we just don't have enough damage output. Let's see how we go. And yeah, frame rate slowing down a bit, but that's mainly just because we're playing in Unity rather than having made a build. And we're about to get smushed basically. But maybe, well, one of the problems is I've got this like mana artifact, but because I can't see my mana, I'm just kind of not using it. So we probably could have smushed them a lot harder if I'd gotten on top of that quicker. So I'm just going to kind of spam the button. Okay, we are screwed. Our army is dead. But that doesn't mean it's over. It's 30 seconds. and we'll get our next loot goblin. And if we can kill that and get the bomb that drops, and yeah, we will get this mage, then we're back in business. So 15 seconds. And I am a ranged character with a bit more speed. Oh, safe fam, how's it going? Yeah, well, as you can see, Warbeans is... I've glowed it up a bit. It's getting there. Critical. We do have some crit here, but I don't have the crit buff, so I'm going to re-roll that. And I think this one's going to be good. This one's always good. Yeah, it's coming along well. So I just did this massive refactoring to the code, and now we're like, oh god. So I need that loot goblin. I'm gonna die. Let me level up. I need that loot goblin like ASAP. He must be somewhere. Yeah, I can see him. I can see it. He should be bigger. So that's something I need to... Okay, loot goblin's not big. Loot goblins are tall. Did I get the first loot goblin? I'm not sure I did. Loot goblin's working. And yeah, there's no point me continually testing the game until I sort that out. But yeah, all good. How's things with you, fam? How's your music? How's your... Are you still doing game dev? Are you still trying to do that? Oh, I wanted to ask you something. Have you seen what Afro Man's been up to? Because I was crying with laughter the other day looking at listening to some of his new songs. I was crying with laughter. So funny. Okay, so I've got some achievements. I'm gonna like change these to survive a certain faction because otherwise there's gonna be too many. Okay. It is quite satisfying to open these. But yeah, finished what I wanted to do today, and I'm not going to start a new thing. The next thing is few little bugs. So we did this off the list, bang. And then we've got bugs. Loot goblins are working, so I need to check that. Character select, ally indicator is green, little bug. Death S effects, playing on spawn. I think I just need to like make sure I cancel it. Oh, you've got to check it out. So basically, his house got raided by the police, right? Like they sent in a bunch of people, and like on bullshit charges, you know, they must have just been bored. But lucky for him, he's got cameras all through his house, and it's not just like for like he doesn't just have it stored somewhere. Like it immediately streams and gets saved. So he completely caught. Oh, that's great to hear. He completely caught the police raiding his house, and it's so funny. So like. And then he uses the footage of the police raiding his house to make some music videos. So he made a song it's called Lemon Pound Cake. And it's like, because one of the police officers, and you see in the video, like he's walking through his kitchen with his gun out. And then he looks at the table and he's quite like a fat police officer. And he sees some like lemon pound cake in a little tray. And he does like a double take. He's like walking past, he goes... And he looks at it again. And so Afro Man makes a whole song about it called Lemon Pound Cake. And it's really catchy and it's really good. I loved it. I'm going to listen to that in a minute again. And then there's one called Lick'em Low Lisa. Because he thought one of the cops was he thought she was acting like a bit of a lesbian. She's pretty butch. And so he writes a song called Lick'em Low Lisa, and it's like a 9-minute video or something, and it's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, oh, you've got to check it out. You've got to go down that rabbit hole. Go right into that rabbit hole, because it's fucking hilarious. Like, it's so funny. Oh god, it's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like it's like and yeah, all the songs are pretty good. Yeah, Lemon Pound Cake, Lick 'em Low Lisa, can you please repair my gate? Can you repair my door and my gate? And the lyrics are like, did you find drugs in my CD cases? Did you find, or like, yeah, did you find trafficking victims in here? And it's really funny. And he won the case. Yeah, no, I'd heard about it, and I was like, oh, that's quite jokes. And then eventually and then I heard just recently, like, he won the case. And then I thought, okay, I'll check this out. So I went and listened to some of the songs, and god damn, I was crying. I was dead. Yeah. Can you repair my door and my gate? So you've got to just go through start with can you repair my gate, and then like Lemon Pound Cake's pretty good, and then but Lick 'em Low Lisa is like one of the funniest videos on YouTube. Like you like don't just listen to it, you got to watch it. Oh my god. Like I was crying. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's really made me laugh. Yeah, because I thought of Nick as well, and I was like, this is too good. But also like Lemon Pound Cake. It's like it's one of the jokes we'd make back in the day. Like, but yeah, I'm gonna jump off now because I've done what I came here to do. But cheers for dropping by. Have a good one. Oh yeah, we'll chat soon. I saw there was something else I wanted to say to you, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, chat soon. I'm not playing anything at the moment. I just got finished with like Mugenics. Mugenics is great if you want to play a good tactics game. Mugenics is insanely good. But I'm not doing any co-op at the moment. But yeah, I'll let you know. I'll be in touch. Safe fam. Cheers for dropping by. Alright, yeah. This was a great stream because we got it. We got to the end. We finished refactoring the code. We got the game working. Yeah, no, and you see in the video, like, he does a little double take. And then just the fact that, like, Afro Man must have seen that, watching the videos, like, seething, like, proper pissed off that they were raiding his house. And just, like, picking up on every little detail. And then, like, seeing, like, oh, he's looking at my lemon pound cake. What a dickhead. And then writing a song about it. And then that song ends up becoming, like, I think it's got, like, millions of views. So, yeah, that made me laugh. Like, but, yeah, safe, fam. I'll chat to you soon. I'll let you know next time I'm on, like, some co-op. Safe. Oos.